Too bad, no food for you.
No, you can eat the horse.
You can only have the horse, which is an undead horse, which keeps rising from the dead, and you get to eat it, and then it dies again, and then it rises.
Exactly, it's infinite food.
All of you to assume I would ever eat a fucking horse.
I don't think
I once said that about reptiles.
Since it's undead.
Mm-hmm.
It might.
You know me. You know how fucking picky I am. I'm never gonna eat a horse.
Sure, you'd never eat a horse.
Kangaroo tastes good.
Crocodile tastes fucking incredible.
Anyway.
Why would I eat a horse?
But kangaroos.
I've eaten horse, it tastes fine. There you go.
Pops right in your mouth.
Momo agrees. Horse tastes fine.
Are we live?
We're live. I went live. I said I'm going live.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did. I waved hello and everything.
I said that, and we kept talking about this entire topic.
I'm right still.
The point. That's the way this game goes.
Yeah, it's not a session
now.
unless we're just talking about bullshit while the camera starts rolling.
Look, if I had let it keep going, it would have never stopped. I have to go live at some point in time, and just go into the middle of the bullshit, and it's fine.
What if we go dead instead?
Then we'd be
No.
necroprancer.
You've made that joke like a dozen times.
The show has... that's the thing, is he probably has. The show's gone on long enough for it to be a dozen times.
I
Here's the thing.
also beat a dead horse.
That's the thing. You have been beating this dead horse. Bring it back around to Necroprancer.
Beat that again in 12 seconds. I can beat it again.
God damn it. Hi, we're probably going to play D&D. I don't know.
We have a horse. It might be dead. None of us have checked on it.
Okay, it's agreed, though. Again, you do have to tenderize the horse before eating it. So I guess beating a dead horse is a good idea if you're going to eat it.
I will never eat a horse. You can't make me.
What about in Skyrim?
No.
Oh.
I don't eat horse meat in Skyrim.
I only kill horses in Skyrim if they are murder witnesses.
I forgot that horses in Skyrim can witness your murder.
Only time I'll kill a horse.
Listen, anything can witness your murders, including and not limited to chickens.
It's true. And if you kill a chicken, everyone's gonna kill you. It's like a thing.
Who the heck is the chicken gonna tell?
Other chickens.
The cops.
This chicken is a fucking narc.
The C in narc stands for chicken. The NAR stands for not a real.
So is it a lover chicken?
No, it's cop in disguise.
See, there you go. The chicken's gonna tell Akatosh.
That tracks.
Dragons is birds.
Dragons is birds. They both have feathers, I think.
Yes, they do. Well done.
Dragon feathers?
Sure.
Dragons got feathers.
Depending on the dragon.
Aragon.
Depending on your
Magic
source.
the Gathering dragon with feathers. Hang on.
There's like some very South American flavored dragons.
I've seen a hairy dragon.
Those are quaddles.
Yeah, but they count as
feathered
serpents. Feathered serpents, I think.
I've seen a hairy one.
Feathered
serpents?
Serpents. And I think some
Feathered
eastern
serpents.
dragons might be kind of feathered. None of like the very western scaly ones. Anyway, you folks were exploring the North Pole, and you've made some friends-ish with like a hidden civilization, you know. Totally not Atlantis, but also Atlantis TM.
Shoot, I just
very
thought
nice.
my plans that I discussed with you are now not going to work since he's not here.
I honestly forgot the plans anyway. Wait.
Sorry, but surprising no one.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember. We talked about it a couple of days. Look, I'm glad that my headache-ness has gone away. I have had this sore spot, which is still a little sore and bad right here between my skull.
No, like right there, yeah.
Yeah, like right there.
I got that.
Yeah, and it had given me a headache for 2 days. So I'm finally glad that I'm mostly recovered.
I'll give you a clue. Phyrexian.
Yes.
That means nothing. There's always Phyrexians.
No,
Yes.
it's the clue for Tantus.
I know. Okay. I could just have a persuasion check be rolled by someone that has it, if you want to use that, you know? We can just say diplomatic meeting is going on if that's what you want to do.
Yes. I mean, we could also waive me talking to the people in my head and all that. I just wanted to have that plan
Yes.
before we leave this place.
Mm-hmm. Well, you found a couple of things out. You discovered some bits of technical information about the Sky Fortress, of course, which is great. You made a basic negotiation with the people up here. And I think that was about where we left off with all of it. And that's
We still have to go to the library for research.
You still have to go to the library, but you can meet up with each other. Back at your hotel. Back at your penthouse apartment. I mean, penthouse...
In the
hotel.
sky?
No.
So we're not moving on up?
Down to the east side?
I feel like you're making a reference.
Old sitcom who I know...
yeah.
Oh, TV show.
Jeffersons.
Look, I know the theme song, and that's about it.
Moving on up.
Down to the east side. That's all I know. That's the extent of my knowledge of the Jeffersons.
To
So,
a deluxe apartment in the sky.
That's heaven. I think they're dying.
they very well might be.
Yeah.
It's not third person on the balance. See, we don't have a coal to balance out here's the madness that's occurring. That's fine. Anyway, so you'll all meet back up. You're back at your apartment right now. Or not apartment, hotel room.
Yes.
Can we go to the library now?
Yeah, I think we should go to the library now.
I want to go to the library.
Nobody can stop us.
To be fair, plenty of people can stop us, but we were waiting for Claud.
Right.
I want to go to the library as well.
See, let's go. What are we waiting for?
We have to actually get an escort. I lied about not being... About
Well,
nobody
we have
being able to
two
stop us.
escorts.
Right, let's go.
Alright, your one escort will take you to the library. Now, the library is an interesting place as it's a combination of strange glass walls and also some, like, very nice books and various other paper-based products.
Since I don't know how to use glass walls.
Honestly, there are also a bunch of these paper products with like flashy pictures on them.
You mean like magazines?
Like magazines.
New fashion trends.
Like to pick up the nearest copy of the New York Times? I mean, we know what we're here for. We're here for information that they have about Castellian.
Yes.
I'm going to let you
You're
look at
here
that. I'm going to actually try to see any information on what they have on Phyrexians.
Okay. The book collection seems to be a lot of books that, honestly, are not helpful. I'm going to be honest about. A lot of it just seems to be, honestly, fiction.
Nice.
The physical books. There doesn't seem to be a large amount of physical history books, as far as you can tell.
Is there a librarian?
Yes, there's plenty of them. And one has been approaching you, and it's just one has been kind of watching you as you're kind of like getting into stuff and like looking around. Like observing what you're doing.
Excuse me.
Oh! Yes?
Could you help us with some research?
I was supposed to, but you seem to want to get into it on your own. I'm surprised you even recognize our language.
I'm very talented.
Magic.
Magic.
Archaeology.
Yes. Look, it's all fine and good for you to enjoy the stories here. Plenty of our public does, but, I believe you were here for research purposes.
Yes.
Most of those documents don't appear in physical forms in our public section. We oftentimes have to have authorization to access certain bits of it, depending on your standing within the city.
Do we have authorization?
For most of it, no, you don't. But you do have some authorization for certain things that I can assist you with.
Do we have any authorization for information on Phyrexians?
The betrayers? Unfortunately, no. But I will inform you that our information on them is in fact limited. We can tell you about their original creation, some basics on the Thrannian Civil War, and of course, their leader to a degree. But everything after they were banished through the dimensional portal that they had access to is sort of beyond our information, especially their invasion previously of Dominaria. We recognized that what they were, but we weren't involved, and we didn't want to get involved. At least that's what it seems like our ancestors chose.
Understood.
So, I doubt we have any information that is very prudent to anything you are doing now. Any other questions?
Where is the information that you have about Castellian?
Ah, Castellian. Come with me.
I will
Carrion.
come too, so I can assist.
Carrion, you are our resident library nerd. You understand this better than I do.
This woman is going to take you over to one of the glass walls, and she's actually going to pull out something from within her, robes, and hold it up to the wall, as you'll see it kind of light up almost. She'll kind of touch it, and then speak in a language which I guess most of you kind of understand. Two of you, I think, are comprehending it. Can you comprehend languages too? Or is it just...
I have comprehend language.
Yeah.
I just learned the language.
Yeah.
To read everything.
Mm-hmm. She basically says, Sky Fortress, Castellian. We have 10 various documents that mention the Sky Fortress. Let's see here. 3 of them seem to be reports on its construction. They are pieces that were basically news announcements. 2 of them seem to be reports based on accidents during the construction that occurred. They were just put in with the Fenian government. We have copies of those records. I have a copy of basic blueprints that might be of help to you, if that's what you're looking for information based on it. Unfortunately, they do not include most of the secure areas or important technical details, but they are generalized blueprints that would kind of be available to any the general public for knowledge about it, especially because the Sky Fortress does tend to have a lot of areas to it, and oftentimes those soldiers assigned to it would have housing for their families. So, of course, documents like this were important for civilians.
Would it be possible to be able to take a copy of the blueprints?
I could arrange for a copy of those blueprints, yes.
That would be most helpful.
She's gonna, like, once again pull out the thing around her neck, kind of, like, seemingly, like, move her hand across it, and then, like, just make note of it. Like, she'll just say, like, copy of document, and, like, run off a bunch of numbers and letters, related to it.
Got it.
Let's see here. I have two non-classified military documents relating to the Sky Fortress. Both of them seem to be based upon military maneuvers rather than any kind of direct information based on it. They do express some things related to some of the technical aspects, but it seems as though it's just a use of weapons and resources that were on the thing for the event. I'm unaware if we had checked in with our scientists. I was informed that that was also going to be done. They would probably have better information on these technical statistics.
We have the technical information that we need. I have that already. But the blueprints are what we needed more.
I do have what looks to be a old diary that was from a worker that formerly had worked on Castilian that had become one of the founders of our fair city. The information in it may be of assistance to you, it might not be. It just seems to be he was a low-level engineer. If you wish to review that, I could also allow you to review that. And the final document seems to be, well, honestly, a report of the one of the final reports we received during the fall of the Empire. Seems to be a report on the destruction of most of the naval and sky ships, including Castilian's seemingly destruction at the time. Though apparently that was, to a degree, falsified.
I mean, if we want to split it up, I probably will make more sense of the diary, whereas Kaz, you'll probably make more sense of the, the other one.
Yeah, that's true.
And I can assist you going through the diary if you like.
Whichever you like. I mean, my focus has always been in history, so something like that is probably more my expertise.
I'm on the same side of things with you there, so that's why I'm saying I could assist you with it. Look over it too.
Yeah, you're more than welcome.
Compare notes.
She'll tap on the glass a few times, and it looks like a copy of a document will, like, seemingly appear visually on the glass. And she'll be like, pages 2 through 50 are appropriate for you, and they have been released to you. Further pages are cut off from you and locked out, as they do not relate to the time at the Sky Fortress. She'll like tap right here to turn the page. Tap right here to turn the page back.
Fucking Kindle.
Except on a wall.
It's a wall Kindle.
Yeah.
Wendell.
And I will arrange for the copy of that blueprints for you to be provided shortly.
Thank you.
If there's anything else you need of me, I will be... And she'll point to like a desk area over there, helping out others.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'll assist you with going through the historical information.
Cass, a small child is going to wander up to you.
Kaz and children.
Welcome, new citizen of the
Hello.
Empire.
Are you a frog?
I will eat you.
Kaz, don't be rude to the child. It's a child.
That means nothing to me.
It means it doesn't understand.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not the frog. I'm a goblin.
What's that? It's that type of frog? I've heard
No.
about frogs in stories. In
No,
books.
it's not. Oh my god, you've never seen a frog. They taste great.
They don't.
They do to me. Everything tastes, well, the same.
And lady,
I don't-
are you also a bat?
Well, I do have the wings of one. You got that part right, but I'm actually part of what's called a demon.
Okay.
He's slime if you're curious.
You're weird.
All of us are.
We are all very, very weird.
Bye, frog bat slime.
I'm Carrion, I'm going to eat that child.
You are
Frog-
not. That child is adorable, and I love it.
Frog bat slime.
I should be allowed to eat the child.
You are not allowed to eat the child. I can't believe that I have to be the voice of reason here. Children are not food.
Obviously, okay, number one. For goblins,
You got to remember. I was going to say you got to remember where he comes from. They do eat each other.
But I'm
Yes.
saying right now, as of the people that we are being currently, we
as
do
a
not
child,
eat children.
I would have eaten him.
Yes, well, you're not a child, are you?
No, I won't
Exactly.
eat him,
So shut the fuck up.
but I would have.
But
I
you
will.
are not a child, so you have, the
And
mental
I could
capacity
eat
to not
you.
eat the child.
But I could have.
And Kaz, I could eat you.
Oh, we all know that you're capable of eating people. We've seen you do it.
We have, in fact, seen you very much eat someone. It was terrifying.
Yes.
Uh,
So
that
let's
is-
not try to.
And the
eat
fact that
people.
that was your first plan also was just eat the person.
okay, but
It-
we can't really talk.
That wasn't my first plan. I thought I could just engulf it. Don't hold it restrictively. I didn't realize I'd automatically start devouring it.
What happens to things normally when they go inside? Do they
I
not get
don't
eaten?
normally engulf. The only thing I engulfed previously was Maxwell.
Kiki.
Yeah, you did do that, didn't you?
He was my bone inside. He was my bones. I was.
Yeah,
his
no,
skin
go ahead.
suit.
Go ahead, talk about how he was bones inside of you.
I was his skin suit.
It's not better. And then I'm going to continue my, research. I hope no more kids come up to try to talk to me because I'm not good with kids.
Mm-hmm.
Form of a
Very
child.
much evidence.
So what do we learn?
All right.
We-
So, on the surface, the diary is simple musings of a person who apparently was working on these things. It's a lot of just, honestly, life complaints, a lot of it, It seems as though that there was a lot of issues with the original construction of the Sky Fortress. That was something that this person didn't encounter, but had talked about. That some of those issues that related to its original construction were causing problems in their sort of here and now. Some of the leftovers of those issues. Certain systems seem to be less... require a lot more repair, honestly. It seems as that a number of the gun batteries were unreliable. Not enough to be like an actual problem, but enough that like occasionally you might be able to avoid there were some holes in its field of attack. Technically, they weren't big holes, but they were there. Not saying where. Doesn't mention that. But it does mention that there's worry that if the problems are coming up, if we can't repair this, it's going to be a continued issue. power efficiency was one thing that they were worried about. Since the Castilian was one of the earliest sky fortresses put into basically use during the time of the Thranian dominance. Granted, it was also one of the largest. It had a lot of design issues that were technically problems. It was slower than most, required a lot more power, drained a lot more power. Effectively, the idea of one massive giant flying fortress was neat, but apparently wasn't a great plan. The plan of some kind of larger flagship of a battle fleet wasn't necessarily a bad thing. Just apparently the way that they went about it, they seemed to have issues with. He also mused that a lot of the higher-ups weren't really listening to some of the issues and complaints they have. He felt that they needed like a full rework. Some of the structural issues were there. Things like that. There was a lot of little problems that existed. That seemed to be general design issues. Again, not 100% detail on them. It seems as though, like, you know, he reflected that, like, you know, just in case, like, a higher-up would, like, check his diary, because honestly, he was working on a military weapon. He didn't want to, like, go into details, because he didn't want to get in trouble, but, you know, he'll complain about some basic things that are like, you know, this needs to be fixed. And also, like, it doesn't mention what was perhaps fixed after he was gone, if anything was. It's just, at his time, being an older model, like the original model, and having actually been aged some, you know, had some age on it in comparison to some of the other, like, you know, more modern in his time, and there was plenty of issues to go around. There were some musings at the might of the fleet that was associated with it, the Fenian fleet, the group of sky ships that was there, and things like that. And it does eventually talk about, you know, his plans to transfer to a place. His original plans for transfer, which he did talk about, which are in the later pages, seems like he was accepting the transfer to the Northern Pole scientific research base to act as an engineer there, less because it was an actual good place to go to. He hated the cold. He didn't really want to go there. But, you know, honestly, it was like a pay upgrade, effectively. It was pretty good pay, so he was planning on doing it for a period of time. Turns out, his position became permanent. Much to his chagrin, because Civil War happened. That you don't know about, but you can assume.
Yeah.
War was declared.
He's like, I'm just gonna go up there, you know, maybe like work for a couple of years, earn a little extra cash, move back, you know, get a nice place for my family, live in one of the large city states, you know, get an easier job that I don't have to work as hard on, you know, ensure all the special education and like medical benefits for my, you know, family are there, that kind of thing, you know, and you know, so
how'd that go for him?
You know, he helped found a giant city under the ice.
Woo!
Mm-hmm.
Ice Town.
Yeah. So that's basically what his diary amounts to. Eventually you'll be given a copy of the blueprints, and the blueprints are actually fairly useful. They do give you an idea of where the original housing structures were. It seems in the center of the Sky Fortress is, generally speaking, where housing was for more civilians and also for, like, you know, military personnel when they were off duty. There were some, like, areas that seemed to be related to, like, families, and it seems like officers and important workers got their families aboard the skyship, from what you can tell. Not everybody did. it seemed like, the people that were going to be like career on there rather than the soldiers. So like major engineers and stuff would have that, so they, would be able to relax a little better when they're in between shifts and didn't need to leave. So especially engineers had that, and like the career soldiers that were aboard there. There certainly was a number of barracks there that were more for military detachments. Those are kind of detailed. The main bridge and 2 of the secondary bridges are detailed here. You're unsure if there's any. You know that there are probably a few more secondary bridges that aren't mentioned, though, from the talk that you had. But most likely, these were the ones that were kind of given out as like the main places, especially because, again, regular civilians might go visit people there or have business to do.
Sure.
You can see where there was docking bay for their basically Thopter squadrons and stuff like that there, that they had associated with it. They seem to have a number of them situated around the lower edges. There's a couple other like places. A lot of like the areas where you're assuming there'd be like technical, very engineering parts are kind of missing, and a lot of the very militaristic weapons areas seem to be missing from the map. So you have a map of approximately, I'd say like 60% of the Sky Fortress.
I would like to note the location of the hangar. That could be a possible infiltration point because it's got to be big and open. Bridges are important to note as well because controls might be located there. Not guaranteed, but at the very least, some control might be assumed from various bridges. Barracks could be nice because they have to have windows there because people want to look out windows. And windows are structural vulnerabilities.
Well, he said it was more towards the barracks weren't, but yeah, the civilian homes are more towards the center, which those wouldn't have windows. Probably.
But barracks would be kind of more towards the like a next ring out, and even they don't have windows out there.
Idiots.
Yeah, because you're trying to, normally you want to protect the people inside.
Yeah, I know, but like if you're like housed somewhere that doesn't have windows, it's gonna cause like crazy cabin fever, and you're gonna lose. Like
unless you're highly technological and might have video walls or something.
Also, they have like actual like towards the area where they have like the hangars and stuff. There are actually like little like gardens that originally were out there and stuff. So
that's true.
Can kind of go to these. It was like a giant flying fortress with like the way it was built had things like that.
Okay. And there was like some information about like the power systems, right?
The closest thing is there does seem to be marking of a like what you think is engineering offices, and what looks to be some kind of workshop. Seem to be the major things on there. Actual bits that are like where the engineering and stuff is seem to be in the unmarked sections, as far as you can tell.
I like a good workshop. I'm gonna make note of that workshop. Especially because workshop might be where the fucking Goblin Grell. Is it Grell? Is that bad?
Give me a second. I have all the names. Yeah.
Yes.
I wrote down his
name.
Yeah,
Grell, Mog, Artificer.
Yeah, if he's going to be anywhere, he might be in the workshop, so I'm going to make a note of that so I can go there and, like, kill his ass, Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to take this. I'm just going to take the blueprint.
Well, yeah, you gave us a copy.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep it.
Okay.
I don't even need to, like, technically keep it. I have keen mind feat, so I can just, like, memorize it.
Well, we can also take it back to the ship and make copies for each of us, so we all have one.
It's true.
Hence why
I can remember how to read a blueprint.
Is there anything else you want to look into, or see if you can look into while you're here in the library?
Oh, Were there weapon systems noted in the blueprint?
Unfortunately, no.
Ah, fuck. Yeah, alright.
Since it was much more civilian related, and much more for like your significant other is working aboard this thing. Here's what you need to know.
Yeah, they're a cook. They don't need to know
Yeah.
how to fire the guns or
Yeah.
where they're fired
Yeah,
from.
like even if your significant other's like an engineer or something, like you don't need to know that for being aboard here. Yeah, it's just like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want little Timmy, finding looking at the blueprints and going down and trying to fire the main weapon systems.
Yeah. But there are large sections of the entire fortress, from the map, that are just darked out and don't have any kind of detail to them. So
Redacted.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
You're fairly certain that even the actual doors aren't put on here. So you'd have to look into where those doors are. They only show the doors to the areas they show.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Again, it's another trick of it that if someone got a hold of this, it doesn't help them for finding some of that stuff. That's the point. It's the military.
Right. We are actually right now trying to use this blueprint to plan an attack
Yeah.
onto this thing, which is exactly what they were trying to prevent when creating and disseminating this document. So
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's just
And certainly the bridge is really difficult to get to. The way that it's displayed here, the main access that seems to be from some of the lower levels and the those bays which were shown on there, and unfortunately it is at the center top of this place, the main bridge, and there's some secondary bridges a little farther down.
You're not going to make it an easy invadable area.
Yeah.
You could have. There's not
There could be easier ways to invade that bridge, but unfortunately this map doesn't show that.
There's not a reactor vent that we can hit with one photon torpedo.
Not on
to
this
blow the
map.
whole thing. No.
Also, where are you getting a photon torpedo?
That's two
I
different
will
universes.
make one.
That's also two different universes.
It's fine. I wasn't gonna argue.
I
with that one,
honestly, they probably have them in Star Wars.
though. They do have something equivalent to that, but
What was the torpedoes they used then? Are they not photon?
I don't know what they're called
I
exactly.
think they just called them torpedoes.
They might just keep them as torpedoes.
I don't know. Off the top. I'm not as versed in
See, I'm more
Wars.
versed in Star Wars lore than I am in Star Trek.
Yeah, I'm a Trek nerd, so.
I've had enough exposure to be versed in both of them at this point in time, so.
I've gone on a lot of Wikipedia binges, and God, it's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Other information from the library.
So proton torpedoes and ion torpedoes from Momo, who ran a Star Wars game 5e for us. 5e Star Wars game. So, they're, proton torpedo?
Not photon. Proton.
Yeah.
One letter.
Yeah.
Is it like Captain Proton?
Probably.
No.
But... So,
That's from Voyager.
yes. I accepted that and I ignored that.
Anything else on the history side?
Dumb question.
All right.
Where might some of the other Sky Fortresses be crashed?
You can ask, see if you get information on that.
I'd like to.
Not a bad question.
Do you have information on the other Sky Fortresses?
We have some that we could probably help you with.
Okay.
They'll list off, there was approximately, let me just check something here, just so I get the number. Sorry. Gotta check something here, because I gotta remember the correct. No. So there's approximately 12 sky fortresses around the time of the fall of the Thran Empire before the Civil War started. Most of them were coming out of Halcyon, because Halcyon was the capital. There were 6 sky fortresses, and the main battle fleet associated with them coming out of Halcyon. All of them are assumed to have been destroyed in the Great Destruction of Halcyon. Halcyon.
Part of the world would have Halcyon been?
Halcyon basically detonated.
Yeah. I had this wild and crazy plan of doing a Hellkite 2 and repairing one very quickly and flying it at the Castellan. Because the Castellan was like a first model. And then if we could get a second model where they fixed all the issues that they had with Castellan, we'd have our own better Sky Fortress.
If they exploded, that probably isn't a quick fix.
No. But we don't need it to actually be functional. We just need it to look functional.
Well, it need to be somewhat functional even to move it to there.
My point is they're using the Castellan as an intimidation tactic. I was thinking we could do the same.
Right. I'm just saying we'd still need it to be able to move.
That's why I said it was a wild and crazy idea.
Yeah.
There was a all 6 of those were known to have destroyed during that battle, during that destruction. It is assumed that there was also 3 other sky ships present at the time, as it was the height of the battle, a great battle at the end of the Civil War. So 9 of the sky ships were assumed to be destroyed during the Battle of Halcyon and its final destruction. Of course, Castilian, known to be destroyed there. One of the sky ships, what happened to it is unknown according to the records. Fenris. Its existence is disappeared from the timeline. It was a sky fortress associated with Seaton. The city-state of Seaton. The final one, the final sky fortress, was known to crash land during one of the earlier battles of the Civil War into Orcillion, one of the other city-states, causing great destruction. It was assumed from information that it was probably then a lot of it was scrapped for other weapons and stuff, because this was the middle of the Civil War. So, Fenris is missing. No records of what happened to it. I'll give you the city-state.
So that one would be the most likely.
It's the city-state there. If you're going to find one that has something intact, that'd be most likely, but no one knows what happened to it.
Yeah. Okay.
It could have been destroyed. Honestly, it's unknown just because the records didn't exist. This place got cut off, as the Civil War basically became an actual problem and a thing. So they got sporadic records from the information from the outside world.
Right.
The woman will actually think for a second, be like, there is possibly something that could help you if you're looking for information on other sky fortresses.
Okay.
She's actually gonna look like she's looking through stuff quickly, just paging through things on the piece of glass. Here. She'll bring up a picture. A massive, strange white being.
Oh, is that...
This creature was detected in the ruins of Halcyon after its destruction. Scans of it read as Thuranian mystical energy signatures.
Is that... Evra?
Yes.
Ah... I remember things. I write things down.
Mm-hmm.
So Evra might have this information.
Unfortunately, its existence in nature is unknown, except it seems to have been born from the explosion of magical energy. Whether or not it has any actual information is beyond our ability to detect. Our notice of it was as much as I can say. We were able to observe some of the great destruction, and certainly the destruction of Halcyon by thanks of the, Null Sphere was enough to be noticeable.
Okay. So Evra might have information on the destruction of fortresses. Or what happened to them. Or possibly even Fenris.
The only other thing that could be done is perhaps the only other source of Thuranian mega technology, the Null Sphere. But access to it has been broken since, long ago.
Yeah, I don't think I want that much destructive power either.
Well, from our information, it's probably not. I can at least say to you, since the war against the returned betrayers, the Null Sphere seems to have been at least damaged beyond repair. Its energy signatures have disappeared.
Good. I don't want that much power, and I don't think other people want me to have that much power.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Thank you for agreeing with that about
Also,
that.
I'm fairly certain that the Null Sphere wasn't built for orbitable habitation. Unfortunately, ejecting it into the atmosphere, creating the secondary moon, as people have seen it as more, meant that most likely all the workers on it, died.
Yeah, we're not getting that.
But there may be records left over there if you were looking for such records. That would be the best source I could say.
And I don't need air to breathe. So I could take it.
I don't need to breathe.
Some of us don't need to breathe.
If you're looking for further information, those are the only 3 sources that it seems like are left over here, especially on Sky Fortresses. I'm sorry that they can't be of more help.
Okay. I would personally love to find this Evra. I think that would be a good time.
Roll a history check, if you would.
History?
History.
I could roll a history.
I'm also going to roll history.
Nat 20.
Holy crap.
Okay.
That's
I
a
don't
30.
think that great, but like
Where
that
we at?
20 would be better than that.
The thing about Evra is that you recall, because again, during some of your research and stuff, especially the ancient cultures, it was brought up that it's one of those things is Evra does seem to be a leftover from the Thuranian Empire. There's enough records that were put together, especially nowadays with a lot of more modern archaeology in Dominaria, and even stuff during the Academy during Urza's days looked into things like this. It has existed from the end of Halcyon. It was given birth to by the combination of basically an unleashing of the Null Moon's energy at the time, which is, that part of it is not necessarily known, but kind of can be assumed, especially that history check, and especially with the information you just gained. Probably the Null Moon, when it was still planet-side, and basically was built to be a true super weapon. Like the Sky Fortress is dulled in comparison to the construction of the Null Sphere. It was the ultimate weapon. Ultimate gatherer of almost... it was made to control the entire Empire's, basically, artifacts. Every last one of them. It was its design. To basically control every construct under Thoranian use at the same time. It was eventually it was made to be a unifying factor. But the reason it ended up in orbit was, of course, the Civil War happened, and the Phyrexians wanted a hold of it.
It seems like a super weapon isn't a great unifier.
It was made to basically energize and keep the entire Empire's constructs going without as much need of direct influence of power stones and stuff. It was sort of transmit energy to all of them. That's why it gathers mana.
It has the word.
It's a wireless charger.
It was basically a wireless charger for armies of constructs.
Sure. It has the word null in it. That's not usually a positive connotation word.
Yeah.
My point is the Thranians sucked at branding.
They really did, I will say.
And apparently they still do, because they're still alive.
I guess the idea was to, use it, the... Yawgmoth wanted to use it to basically turn all the artifacts of his enemies against them. Because the thing is, Yawgmoth and their Phyrexian nature were able to overcome any control the Null Sphere could give out. Because they basically changed any constructs under their control. So the idea was to use the Null Sphere to override everyone else's control, but that's when
to nullify their control.
Yeah. So it's basically, well, you can't use that on us, but we could use it on you. So yeah,
How'd that go?
Well, the operators basically sacrificed them by throwing themselves into orbit. They killed themselves in order to prevent Yawgmoth from ever getting it. Create a second moon.
Yeah.
Kaz, question.
Ah.
But
the Thraptor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can it work in space?
Cash?
It technically uses magic to fly, so maybe? I don't know much about space.
Cash, do you need air to breathe?
Technically, but I can also go for a long period of time without it.
Okay.
At most, I could probably stretch myself to approximately 24 hours without oxygen.
We should get you some of these.
But anyway, so it was during that battle that the Null Sphere was used in a way and unleashed some of its energy. And that's what helped cause the destruction of Halcyon. It was during the battle for basically the Null Sphere that it unleashed power, interacted with energy stuff within Halcyon, and caused a massive magical explosion, destroying the entire city.
Yes. Okay.
The leftover of that, Evra. No one has been able to communicate with Evra. Ever.
Oh.
It says nothing. It just travels the world. Honestly, its path can be drawn out to... It does tend to major archaeological sites for Thoranian-based things. It seems to visit them. Because I guess like the null sphere gathered white mana. It was meant for whatever reason it was made to gather white mana, or at least aligned to.
We haven't tried to talk to Evra.
Mm.
Also, nobody tried to talk to Evra, but none of the people who tried were Thranian.
Mm.
So maybe Cash could talk to Evra.
Perhaps.
Maybe it doesn't understand common.
We tried French.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What is French?
It's a way to cut fries.
Ah.
Well, we have options. We have some information about Castellion.
Oh, and I'll let you also know, Halcyon was a floating city. That's why it was the top of the cities. Most of the cities were land-based of the city-states, but Halcyon was, in fact, floating above what would be known as the Caves of Kolios, where the, Phyrexian Gate was. That's why that's why it had so many sky fortresses associated with it. It's a sky city. A metropolis floating in the air.
That seems like unnecessarily dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is just another failure point that's just there to seem impressive.
Well, there was another mana rig down below it, like the one they'd seen Shiv at the time. But that kind of got crushed when the exploding city kind of like fell stuff on top of it. Kind of like the same with the, Caves of Kolios being originally sealed off until, Urza and Mishra discovered it. Thousands and thousands of years later.
Those goobers.
Yeah, they caused some issues. Definitely.
Okay. Okay. Some options.
Yeah.
We have.
And I'll tell you, the actual locations of the city-states where they were are technically unknown. Except for Halcyon. Halcyon is the only city-state where its kind of location is sort of known because of, honestly, information that Urza discovered. Because he found the Caves of Kolios and shit like that.
Yeah.
And was planning on using the Null Moon to, nuke Yawgmoth. So.
Okay. We can go to space as an option, which is fun.
Mm-hmm. Space.
No, some of us can go.
Some of us can go to space.
Space would be pretty difficult. You try to talk to a big elemental thing which doesn't speak, as far as you know.
Very difficult.
We also have
Or big
a Carrie
avatar.
who knows how to talk to these kind of things.
Carrie has talked to one of these kinds of things.
Exactly. That's more than the rest of us.
Technically,
I'm
Carrie,
also
you've talked...
technically the herald of that specific thing.
Yeah, I mean, Carrie, you get the feeling that that thing is very alien and different than your relationship with Muldratha.
I'm just being a bitch.
Yeah, one of them is Muldratha is a land elemental or land avatar. This thing is an avatar, which is similar, but that similarity being an avatar is about as far as you go. It is an embodiment of a massive mana explosion of a gigantic city embodied into a thing. That's kind of weird. That's very different.
Can't try.
Doesn't mean you couldn't try. It's just
Kidding.
it's different.
We're all different.
But the option is there.
Option is there.
That doesn't involve leaving the atmosphere.
As far as we know. Evra might have traveled up to the Null Sphere. Who knows? Do you know what Evra's capable of? Because I don't know what Evra's capable of. Maybe
They might be
Evra
able
is-
to dance.
maybe Evra's capable of breaking Atmo.
Well, do you want to do anything else here in the city? Because we can have you head back to your ship and move on, unless there's anything else you want to do here.
I had asked for a scanner.
They said no.
Fuck! Why?
Because they're not going to give you any technology.
It's not a weapon, though.
Doesn't matter. They don't want their technology going out into our technological world and then cause a war for people to fight over it.
What if I promise to give it back?
Like, honestly, they're worried enough at, like, things that are discovered from ancient Frannian archaeological digs. But usually that stuff is really destroyed, and honestly, you're only rebuilding it to a certain degree. So that's why it's, like, less worrisome.
Except for right now, where a massive piece of ancient Thrannian technology is in the middle of the ocean.
I mean, they voted on it, and they're like, it's probably not threatening enough for us to worry about it.
Oh my god, this is exactly what happens in every disaster movie. Right?
We don't have to worry about that much. I mean, like, it kind of is. It is very bureaucratic of being like, well, it's only a sky fortress. It doesn't have the fleet associated with it. Our scientists say its energy systems are probably not up to 100%, and it would be difficult to recharge it a lot and stuff like that. They have this full assessment of it, and they're like, honestly, not our problem.
It's so very much their problem.
Also, they don't want to reveal themselves to the world.
Yeah.
They don't have to. You just gotta give me a stick that goes scan.
The only other thing I had was my plan.
Mm-hmm. If you want to enact that your plan at very least, we can I can roll some check here I can make this Cole-based check to see if Cole can help you out.
I was going to write down, a base thing of what I wanted him to say to maybe give him advantage on the roll.
You know what? Sure, why not? I'll give advantage here, this persuasion check.
I'm terrified of this.
29! I didn't need to give persuasion, it's the first roll.
Nice.
Okay. So you'll spend a few more days as you will bring a case up to it, and up to the government of the city here. And using some connections that they have, honestly, with the Clarion Academy, with the little bit of connections that they do have. Let me check something here.
And I'll tell Cole after doing the case. You can let the rest of the team know. I just can't personally because I'm still afraid of letting the cat out of the bag.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So the plan came down to this. Joe's had a very big elephant in the room. And that is a Phyrexian man in his brain that's been basically watching everything.
Yeah. I don't like this man.
No.
None of us do.
Claud has been wanting to get that out of his head, and he basically uses a combination of getting some help from Cole to broach the issue to the Thrannians. And more for... the thing is, like, I need your help to remove him. Because the idea is he basically, like, letting him know is in there is dangerous. Thrannians hate them and probably would want to exterminate Claud. But the idea was to have Cole then basically broach there's ways of separating him out. We can keep him separate from it, and Claude has been trying his best to go beyond the creation from these things. He is, more than the sum of his parts. He basically does like a data argument, for like, he deserves life kind of thing and making his own choices,
I trust the Thrannians to keep it under lock and key or destroy it, rather than the college, who already has a Phyrexian monstrosity and has known to go a little too much in the experimental realm, and I don't want them to let them work together.
Yes. So I will tell you, they will successfully create an artificial body worthy of that. A combination of some, generally just using you to basically, like, clone some biological tissue kind of like things, or like something that's akin to what the original biological tissue would have been there, because Phyrexians do have some, combined with some basic mechanics, sans any kind of nanomachines, kind of things like that. They will remove him, and I will tell you, they will have a not a consensus, but they will decide rather than killing him off. Honestly, they're just going to put him in frozen, suspended animation, kind of how Kesh was.
That's fine with me.
They don't know exactly what to do with him because they have no... There's a disagreement because they don't know all what crimes he would have committed in the name of Phyrexia, and they can't just basically try them under their law system for being a Phyrexian, because he wasn't necessarily around for the crimes that happened during the Civil War.
Right.
He could have been after that. So sort of like, we know he probably committed some very horrible things, but we have no evidence of it, and they do try to have a law and order in their own system.
That's fair.
I mean, you have evidence of some of the atrocities.
Creating you certainly was a little bit of some kind of atrocities.
That's several dozen murders.
And all the murders that took create.
All the murders.
But again, like,
It's
how
still
at fault he is for that is kind of up for debate, because it's kind of hard to say, like, was this his experiment and line of research, his idea directly, or was it something that he was assigned to? There's a lot of discussion on that kind of thing. So it's enough.
They're gonna
for them
freeze
to
him.
have,
It's enough.
it was enough for them to have doubt. You know, enough doubt that they couldn't be unanimously, decide. Because apparently, if they were to execute them, it has to be a unanimous decision, and it wasn't unanimous, so they had to go for.
You gotta have, the whole beyond a reasonable doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately,
that probably feels like a weight off my mind.
yeah. Like it's been like honestly like a week will have gone by since you've been here, and it's been some nice hospitality. It's been kind of a little. You still feel like you're like arrested to a degree, because honestly, there's these big like constructs that follow you everywhere, and they don't really let you go to a lot of places. You can visit a couple of stores that are selling like interesting clothing, or like
general
food,
stuff.
Yeah, like basically like maybe like a shopping mall you could have visited or something, except you're not allowed in certain stores.
Oh, we can't go to the tech bar?
You can't go to the tech bar.
Am I allowed to buy a book?
Sure.
It's a fiction novel.
It's a fiction novel. Do you want the trashy romance? The strange technological story, basically like a weird. It's so weird because it's basically their version of a sci-fi story. Or you want like the weird horror about like some kind of strange ice monster.
I think I would like the novelization of the John Carpenter's The Thing.
There you go. You basically have...
I mean, I could get all three. I have enough money.
Yeah.
I pay in gold coins that they've never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
They probably think it's very quaint that I pay in gold coins.
Honestly, they probably do.
What do they have? Paper money?
They probably have credits.
The electronic, honestly.
Yeah. Crypto.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, no, I'm giving them gold coins.
Mm-hmm.
This shit is definitely fungible.
Sorry, guys, for the extra time. But
We
now
good?
I don't have a Veshin beside my head anymore.
I'm cool with that. He hated me, and I hated him.
Only thing is, I won't be able to tap him for any information on technology that we might run across that's Phyrexian.
That's fine. If you just give me enough time, I will be able to figure it out. I have 3 new novels to read.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else buying anything?
I will tell you, the trashy romance between 2 women, a man, and a robot.
Wow.
Do they walk into a bar?
No, they're all in an interconnected relationship of deepened complexities.
In a bar.
There's probably a bar involved.
It's really weird Cheers fanfic.
Except one of them's a robot.
It's Frasier.
Frasier would be the robot, yes.
Frasier's the robot.
That
I
makes
was
sense.
thinking Norm. He's actually attached to the bar stool. It's part of him. That's
Normbot.
why Norm gets up.
I've never actually seen Cheers.
I've seen like maybe an episode again on reruns.
I've seen all of it.
I've seen almost all of MASH, but I've never seen Cheers.
I watched Cheers when it was still live on TV.
I did not.
Yeah, man.
I may have had the option. I did not.
You would at least been able to watch like the back end of the series, probably.
I have seen some of WKRP in Cincinnati.
That is a good show.
My dad's favorite Thanksgiving episode of anything ever. Okay.
I was going to say something, but I got lost track of mine. Anything else you want to do? I mean, you folks could have visited a bar, honestly, too. Like, you know.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah, I want to have weird future alcohol.
Uh,
And I want to tell them it's weak and shitty.
I mean, it's fine. It's like, it's all like weird grains they like produce in their like food area, you know, that they're like basically hydroponically growing, you know.
There's no
Nice
spirit to
vodka.
these spirits.
It's like, you know,
It
probably
could be
like,
potatoes. Potatoes are easy to grow.
well, you know, they've plenty of stuff that they can easily. They've got super technology. They probably grow lots of variety. You know, it's honestly like, again, their diet's probably very vegetarian because
Yes.
like there is no meat up here.
Except maybe the occasional, like ice
Polar
monster.
bear.
I guess like they probably have some hunting teams that sometimes bring back, you know, like ice worm.
Yeah, that's probably a delicacy.
Yeah,
Ice Worm would probably be good.
yeah. But apparently, like, so like the 3 main alcohols are probably something equivalent to like a vodka or something that's like a potato-based thing. You know, that's very clear and very hard liquor. Apparently, something that is made from fermenting the stomach juices of an ice worm.
That would probably kick.
That's probably one of the harder ones, and probably some kind of like beer or ale. I'd assume, you know,
Yeah.
they can probably produce something of.
That probably sucks.
It's a drink if you're looking for a drink.
I'm looking for a good drink.
I
I
also
mean-
want to get a new jaunty hat.
I don't know if their hats would be jaunty.
I'm sure there's someone eccentric who makes hats in somewhere in here.
Nah, man, their fashion's probably all like uniform and shitty.
I mean, there is a very uniformness to their
Yeah,
fashion.
true.
Remember, as I said, what it is there's always a single color pattern, and then it's just
How
the
about a
patterns
nice
amongst
scarf?
it. It also seems like a lot of times their fashion things are like customizable. So it's sort of like you almost choose like a basic thing and then like, you know, customize your designs in and of it, and then they can produce it for you. But you could probably find like a.
In other words, we are the freshest motherfuckers in this city.
Mhm.
We have like introduced fashion again.
Maybe not. I mean, like, your fashion is just like adventure.
I wear I have good fashion. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm making myself look at my nicest possible, like, regal-looking clothes. Because I can make them out of myself.
You look like a king from ancient days.
I'm in, like, a sailor's long coat.
Yeah.
You know?
I also have a giant hat with a feather in it.
Okay. I'm just gonna put this this Carrie over just to be like, Carrie doesn't wear a lot. So Carrie's not like, if we're going by the image of Carrie, so she doesn't really have a fashion.
True.
Mm-hmm. She's got like a top and some pants,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Were you wearing more in this weather?
Yes, I have a coat.
Yes.
Okay.
Remember we all bought winter coats?
Yeah.
Winter cloaks?
Remember Cole bought me winter clothes because I was freezing.
You weren't gonna do it probably. You were like, I'll be fine. It's cold here. Have some winter clothes.
It's a carry sickle.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, I'll get a nice scarf.
You could probably find one of those, honestly. It's a very like uniform color, with a like black stripe down the middle.
Probably nice material though.
Yes.
Something that's not me.
Yes. Why don't we take our break here then?
Okay.
And then we'll figure out what's going on next. So if you need a snack, drink, bathroom break, go ahead and get those, and we'll be back in a little bit. This button here, and this button here, and this button here, and we're back! Alright. Doing anything else in the city? Or are you good to go?
I don't have any other business.
No, nothing legal.
Okay.
Or you can try to find drugs?
Do they have drugs?
Not the kind of things you're looking for?
Ah!
Cyberpunk drugs.
Yeah. Some cool, like, corporate designer shit.
Anyway, so eventually, with your stay having been concluded, you will be escorted, basically back out to the surface, where, your ship's a little icier, but waiting for you.
Okay.
You want to contact them and let them know to relower the rope?
They know. They know.
I don't.
Okay. I don't know how... Yeah, I shoot a firebolt up in the air, like a flare.
Well, don't you have message?
No.
Oh, I think you did. Oh no, I think Cole has
Sir,
message.
you are not dead. I was worried when we hadn't heard from you in over a week.
I'll never die, Alatar. You know this.
I do not assume that is correct.
Oh, well. Nope, I'm alive. And we're shipping out. We're going back to the academy to make our report.
All right. You can quickly head back to the academy, where you will meet again with the dean. She will greet you and be like, "How was your trip to the north?"
Cold, yeah. So the Dranian civilization, they never said we couldn't tell people, right?
They did, actually.
Oh.
They don't want to be outed.
We got the information.
That's good.
It was productive. How we might have to go into low Earth or low Dominarian orbit. Actually, it's not very low orbit.
possibly a moon.
Yeah, we need the moon.
A moon, technically. There's 2.
You're right. There's the one that's not really a moon.
That's not a moon.
It's a poor PR stunt.
Unfortunately, I don't think we can do anything to help you with that.
That's fine. We can figure it out. Do you know where Evra is?
Do you think accessing that creature would be prudent in this case?
It could be. If we can get it to talk, yes.
I don't think anybody's managed to communicate with it ever. It just wanders about the land and seems to do its best to avoid causing any damage or destruction to whatever it passes by. Granted, it just walks around, so...
We've never tried, though.
True. Honestly, wish to attempt something with that. It would be possible at this point in time to find it. It's on, in fact, then Tertiaire.
Cool. I'm pulling up a map. Oh wait, we have a map.
Yeah. Ah, there it is. It's to the right of Ortada. Arteria. Yeah.
To the right of...
Otaria.
Um,
Near New Argive.
Oh, where
Yeah.
Yavimaya is.
Yeah, Yavimaya, New Argive.
yeah, Tertiaire. That's the continent where
Yeah.
where
Those are.
Halcyon was.
Where an act that I still consider correct occurred.
What, the detonation of the Golgarian Silex?
No, the dragon.
Oh.
No.
I've been thinking about that, and I've come to the conclusion that it actually was like the morally correct path to take. Because all the other ones meant like keeping the skeleton of this elder dragon like disgraced in the metal structure it was trapped in, and instead I set it free. Morally, I did the right thing.
Okay.
I've never done anything wrong ever. Where in Tertiaire is it?
It was last seen near the caves of Kolios.
Oh. Okay. Alright.
The site of Halcyon.
Yeah. They also call that like the Caves of the Damned.
Yes.
So it's not a happy place that we have to go to now.
Do we go to many happy places?
Sometimes.
College was a good time, except for, when you unlocked all the doors in our house. Other than that, college was a happy time.
I'm just saying.
We should
Not
take
many of the places we go is very happy times.
You're right. We should, instead of doing this, go take a beach vacation. I'm sure the world will sort itself out while we're all sipping margaritas.
No. I think we need to focus.
Then to the caves of the damned it is.
The damn caves.
All right. So you'll head towards Tertiaire and, of course, the caves of Kolios. The caves themselves are on New Argive, I believe. Let me just make sure I get the correct location.
We've been to New Argive before.
Well, on the continent of New Argive.
Yes.
You've been to the city of New Argive, too. That's not this version. So they're in a desert region between the Sardian Mountains and the Care Ridges. And easily you will see the being that was shown to be before. Evra. Just seems to be kind of standing there in the area.
We have a plan.
Not even anything resembling a plan.
Talk
Sounds
to
about
it.
right.
Okay, how?
Try. Well, you understand. Thuranian. Try Thuranian.
Okay, I can read Thranian.
Okay. What? Well, we have someone who can speak Thuranian fluently.
Cash? Are you willing to translate for us while we attempt to talk to...
That thing, I guess. I never tried to speak to a 100-foot tall being of white energy.
It's easy, it's just like talking to anything else.
Alright. Right now it just seems to be standing around.
Well, we can try common first.
Hello.
Doesn't respond.
Here, can we fly close to it so it can hear us?
Sure.
Be a good way to start.
Yeah.
Seems like a bad idea.
If you have another idea, I am very willing to hear it.
Oh no, I don't. I'm just I'm saying that just so that if this blows up in our face, then I can say I told you so. But if it doesn't blow up in our face, then you can say I told you so.
I like that deal. Hello.
No response.
Okay, Kesh, you're up.
She yell out in Thuranian, hello. It still won't respond. Or you see no sign of response, at least. From
How
either of these.
close are we to it?
How close do you want to be?
Not slapping distance.
All right. Then you're not.
That
slapping
seems
distance.
smart, right?
Yeah, the only thing is if I'm within 60 feet, I could try to see if it had any surface thoughts.
Oh, do you want to get that close? You feeling,
I'm not saying
Feel
it's
lucky?
a good idea, but I'm saying I could try that.
Again, none of us think any of this is a good idea. We're just doing it.
Maybe we shouldn't get the whole shit.
I can fly someone. I can actually fly all of us closer, but I could fly you closer.
I could, yeah, if you do that, I could try to see if it is even thinking anything. It might not even be intelligent.
Pretty sure it's intelligent, but at the very least we can fly a little bit closer with, wing power rather than whatever the fuck this power would be.
flower? It is
Flower?
partially powered by the Golden Lotus.
Flower power. Nice.
Okay,
Alright,
well,
I'm gonna fly Claud closer.
as soon as we're within 60 feet, I will try to detect its surface thoughts.
All right.
Rip to Claude.
Okay.
No one ever accused us of being smart.
I have
So
accused myself of being smart, never wise.
you'll kind of try to get surface thoughts from this being. And you don't really understand what you're reading. It's like there's something there, but it's not thoughts like you think they would be.
Well, I can speak telepathically to it. Since it's within 60 feet.
Mm-hmm. Alright, you're gonna try to do that?
Yeah, I'm going to say, hello, can you understand me?
Okay, I need you to make me... Honestly... A wisdom save.
Oh, yay! Because I'm good at that.
Mm-hmm. Alright. You do not fall over in immense pain as your brain is just bombarded with, you're not sure what. Your head just hurts. It's if, like, something rings back into your brain at an intensity that you do not understand. You are completely overwhelmed.
It's aware of us?
How's it going?
Communicate, really. It's too much.
Bad, Kaz, bad.
You got this. Back on the boat.
Well, then maybe stop.
Do you have any better ideas?
No, but, don't, ruin your brain.
Up to you what you want to do.
I don't know anything about these weird fucking machines. Hey, guys, it didn't work. What should we try?
I'm going to try telepathically saying, can you communicate verbally?
Alright, I will need another wisdom save from you.
Did you try asking it to communicate verbally?
Think so?
Okay, I'm gonna roll something now. Alright.
I get a +1.
Uh-huh.
Then why are you doing and not me? I can also communicate telepathically.
Take 18 damage as, like, you'll just see energy, like, it'll look like Claude's form will almost, like, half destabilize. As, like, he'll be, like, dripping, like, some of his normal ooze from his body. Like, it's like, he's almost beginning to, like, melt as whatever form he was in.
Human.
Yeah, your human form just looks like it's, like, half melting now a little bit. Roll me a insight, actually.
Okay. I'm better at that. Ah!
Alright. You realize that the reason why this is weighing so much on you, and maybe you can't understand it, is that regardless of whatever intelligence is behind it, it is said with millions of voices. Perhaps...
What if I take my sliver form?
Okay.
Slivers are used to hearing...
Slivers are used to it, but I will tell you, the one thing about this is, there is no harmony in this. Slivers have a harmony about them.
the only thing I could think of. Unless
it would be a different route. You could try it, but again, like, you don't really have the same telepathic connections you would to Slivers. You know, like, you're trying to use your telepathy to open up to this thing. And it is just...
Could Carrie and I work in tandem?
You don't know, maybe?
Or I could become a Thallid. Or enlisted, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And be a parasite on Carrie's head.
Oh, I thought you were going to try to slug the Evra.
So we could try to work in tandem better. And I could be the type that could improve your wisdom.
Mm-hmm. You want a slug creature on your brain?
It's okay. It's not the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
I think we've done this before, actually.
We have.
So, Carrie,
yeah, how did it go last time?
Horribly, but it's fine.
I think we might need to work together on this. I'm going to take my bug form
Okay.
and help your mind.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds terrifying, but okay.
Back on the boat, we're taking bets to see what happens.
Alright, so are you going to try to telepathically communicate with it?
I guess.
Alright, I will need a wisdom save from you, but you will have advantage.
Right.
Alright.
23.
23 is pretty good. I need you to roll me an insight check then. You will also have advantage on that.
21.
Alright. So, you once again dive into trying to communicate with this thing. And you think you get a shadow of what it's saying in amongst everything, because you feel your own mind being crushed and overwhelmed. You, with the insight that Claude had before and the kind of combination of like the two of you, you begin to realize what this thing is. It's an echo of a moment. A being created out of a massive explosion of white mana that took the lives of a city of millions of individuals. The echo of every one of those individuals exists within this being.
It's me on crack.
Yeah.
No, it's a fucking Philosopher's Stone.
The weeb ass nerd.
The instant that all of them died horribly in a magical explosion is kind of imprinted on this thing. You do get a sense that it has a greater mind or purpose to it, but it is unfortunately incredibly alien. It's the fact that, like, you've touched Muldrotha and have begun to understand what Muldrotha is. An elemental is an avatar of the natural world. It's like an intelligence given to the natural world, but it's also not intelligence the way you'd think it would be. It's very alien. Multani is a very unique case because it's almost evolved an intelligence that we can understand, or it can mimic it at least. Muldrotha is a lot more primal. It thinks in ways that are like thinking about, like, I don't know, it's like thinking about Earth. It's like, what does the ground think? Things like that. This is, honestly, what does mana think? What does energy think? What does death think? All combined into one. And a little bits of, like, specks of other things that are, like, the nature of it. You feel as though, like, this does signify Thran in a way. Because there's echoes in here that are beyond the voices of the millions that died. There's echoes of the machine in here, too. And, of course, all the energy that's there, which is... It is white mana incarnate. So, like, it is also that blinding radiance in that. So you have, to a degree, open communications. But the problem is, its voice is alien. And it's not a language that is very easy to understand. Whatever this thing's purpose is, it seems to wander to places. Like, this is matching with it. It observes what was Thran. Or echoes of it, maybe. Perhaps that's why it wanders to areas that are like ruins, or perhaps areas that there might be ruins of Thran. Constantly wandering. Where there might be history of it.
What about maybe thinking what was the name of that city? Fenris. Yeah.
Fenris, the other sky
Fenris.
fortress?
What about thinking of Fenris to it?
What do you want to do, Carrie? You are in control. You
I can basically in the back of your head going, maybe Fenris?
Yeah, I'll go with Claud's idea, because I...
Alright, give me another wisdom save. You still have advantage because of Claud when interacting with it. Alright, 17.
I rolled a 8.
You rolled an 8.
Double eights.
I'm not rolling great.
Roll me just a straight insight check, then.
Never done anything straight in my life. That's 12.
Alright, you try to communicate with it again, and it's just... If there is a response to Fenris, you don't understand it. You're having trouble interpreting what it's saying to you, basically. You're also having trouble, like, keeping your mind sane against this. Like, this, you don't think, like, you're pretty sure, even with Claude shoring you up, it's probably not healthy to be interacting with it for long periods of time. So you can ask it a few more questions, maybe. And try to get a response.
Can I try and reach out to Kaz and ask what I should ask?
Sure.
Kaz, what should I ask the thing?
I don't know how's it doing. Oof.
We're here in the first place.
Right.
Take us to Fenris?
No, Sorry, my roommate is rapping quite loudly outside of my bedroom.
So someone's rapping at your chamber door.
I was going to go for gift wrapping, but
No.
that's a fine one too.
Or weed wrapping.
I had to go Poe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, so we got nothing for Fenris.
Not a response that you can understand.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe take us to Fenris. Maybe it'll start moving into it.
I'm gonna tell you, you've got a sense it's just gonna do what it wants. It's probably not gonna do anything to help you.
You could. So
you don't exist to it in a way.
Right.
Did you tell it about the Fortress Castellion that has returned to potentially wreak havoc upon the world?
I don't think we have.
You don't think it would care? Like,
It might visit it.
It doesn't care about, you know,
Current
things the way that we care about things. It acknowledges living creatures and tries not to step on them. Beyond that, it tries.
That's nice of it, at least.
Doesn't mean it doesn't sometimes step on things or destroy stuff. Yes, that's the nice, but that seems to be the most regard it gives to anything. Anything that seems threatening to it, it will attack. That's what you know about it. And the thing is, it seems to do its own thing. And honestly, touching this thing's, in quotation, mind, I'll give you that, like, very easily. More than likely, similar to, like, how Moldratha or Multani, they represent nature and an area. They have goals related to what they represent. This thing represents something. If it cared about the Sky Fortress, it probably would have responded to it.
I don't know what to ask it. It scares me.
Listen, what were we even trying to accomplish by coming to visit this thing?
Well, we thought we thought maybe we could talk to it to get some information, but if it doesn't want to give us information, then, like, you know.
It might not be even that it doesn't want to. It's literally millions of voices trying to scream back.
So it's probably not going to give us any information.
Probably not, and it seems...
For us to understand it is difficult.
From your first check, I'll tell you, you might be able to get information you can interpret, but it's not easy.
Yeah. It's incredibly hard.
At the very least, it's not going to help our enemies.
That's accurate. You can tell that much at most.
Yeah.
Seems to just kind of do what it wants.
That's fine. We have gotten more insight into this thing in 20 minutes than anyone else has in thousands of years.
Yes.
Because you're stupid enough to try and talk to it mentally.
We're so good at this. I'm gonna get tenure.
Carrie, again, you will know there's a good reason no one tried this kind of thing. Probably contact with it for more than, I don't know, like 60 seconds would probably destroy your brain.
Yeah. It's painful.
Yeah.
Then stop. We're not gonna get many more information. We know it's not gonna help. It's not gonna hurt us. It's not gonna help. Well, it's hurting you. I mean, like, it's not going to intentionally hurt us. It's not gonna help our enemies.
Mm-hmm.
We've advanced the scientific field. Now, we can stop.
Okay.
That's my opinion. You all do what you want. I'm looking for a tiny magnet that I dropped.
Okay. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else we could try to think of it and add it, and even if we do, we might not understand the answer.
In other words, let's just stop talking to it. And hopefully, everything will be fine.
So what's our next plan, then?
Kaz, what's our next plan?
Moon!
Why?
Data.
We might be able to get information from what's left of the moon base.
I guess we're going to the moon. That's not something I ever thought I fucking would say.
I'll be nice here because, like, you have not figured out a way to get to the moon. You could try asking this thing.
How to get to the moon?
It was created by it.
Hey, weird creature. I'm just doing it. Hey, weird creature. How do we get to the moon?
Wisdom save with advantage. All right.
Come on, that 20.
Nat 20.
All right.
Did that work? Did saying come on nat 20 actually work?
Yeah.
All right. Give me an insight check with advantage.
Never in the history of all this horse piss has saying come on nat 20 worked.
Okay, 15. That's still pretty
man.
decent.
Plus 5 to get it to a dirty 20. Fuck you.
Okay. You're like, you can do it, you know? As you kind of once again probe into this thing and try to like inquire.
I have money riding on this. Do it.
No.
All right. So it will actually respond at this point in time. You're not sure what it said, but it did seem to respond to you inquiring about that. You also get the feeling that at that point in time, like, inquiring about it caused it to probe you back. You're not sure what it saw or understood about your nature. But it was reading you as much as you were trying to read it. Again, it might not be good at interpreting what you are. You just basically made yourself something to attention to it. It'll reach out its one arm towards the ground, and like a area will just kind of like almost explode with white energy nearby to it, and a strange symbol will be on the ground where it was. And it will turn back to the positioning of just standing there.
Do we recognize the symbol? Anyone?
Is it a teleportation
Arcana?
circle? Arcana? You want to do Arcana? I can Arcana the fuck out of this thing.
Yes.
An Arcana.
I can too.
Mm-hmm.
That's another nat 20.
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
For a
It made you a teleportation circle.
Oh, hey, guys, teleportation circle.
Yes! We're going to the moon!
Thank you, kind creature that is screaming in my mind. I say that out loud. but don't
Like
say
a little bit of
mind.
blood will come out of your nose, you know?
In our mind, technically.
Yeah, so it's like just like a little blood will come out of your... Thank you, nice creature that's screaming in my mind. Just the drip out of your nose, you know?
Kaz,
we-
we're going to the moon.
If we land on it, would it teleport the entire ship?
Not big enough for the entire ship.
Okay.
What about just the 5 of us?
Definitely easy enough for that.
The only problem is only 2 of us. Well, 2 of us who don't need to breathe, basically. 1 who could hold their breath an extreme amount of time, and 2 people who need to breathe. We don't know if it's safe.
Oh, then we'll just have the 2 of us who don't need to breathe go first, and then we'll come back and let them know if it's safe.
Is it a 2-way? Is there?
You have
can we
no
teleport
clue.
back? Is the problem?
You know what we should do? Okay, come back here. Come back to the ship so we can talk and plan this out. We have this. It's not going anywhere. Let's figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also going to flop off her head and just sit down for a moment.
Yeah, you're
I
still
also
kind of got that
need
like
to-
destabilization to a degree. It's
Yeah.
still like kind of going across.
I'm not feeling wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I need a minute.
I'm assuming that if I gaseous form, I don't need to breathe because I'm gas.
Yeah, but how
No.
long can you hold gaseous form?
Also,
An
if you're
hour.
in a vacuum and you are a gas, you will immediately disperse.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, scientifically, there probably is creates a bit of atmosphere around that thing because it probably is large enough to have a little bit of its own gravity, but probably not a lot of atmosphere. It's probably like a thin atmosphere. Very moon.
And, well, the thing is also, if there's nothing growing on it, there's nothing to produce oxygen.
Oh no, there's no goddamn oxygen at all.
No
but
air,
I'm just
no
saying
air.
it would be like light atmosphere at very least. So you're not in a complete vacuum. It's just still not good.
You might be able to survive then the hour in gaseous form and then die.
Yeah.
Gosh, again, I can cast it a lot of times.
And you wouldn't be very useful as gas.
No, but at least I'd be there.
Mm-hmm.
Moral support.
And we still wouldn't have a coal.
I checked Cole's spells, but they probably have like deleted one or added another one again.
Because I think coal needs to breathe.
Usually.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh.
Options. Options, we have them. Number 1, contact Nim.
Mm-hmm.
Should probably do that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Could give us a scroll of teleportation to get back here in case it's a one-way.
We could also just go somewhere and buy a scroll.
You
but
know,
we don't
I'm gonna
also
do.
how long
I'm gonna do this one thing here that is on Cole's sheet. That he'll be able to do. Did that pop up? It did.
Yeah.
Cole can cast teleportation circle. He just because like you've been there, he can kind of go back and. Granted, the distance is maybe the issue. Well, I guess it's sort of like no one shows up at the moon to be able to go back and forth between it in the first place, kind of thing. Also, no.
He'd need a minute to cast it.
Yes.
I'm sure he could hold his breath a minute if he had to.
You have to use your breath
but
to
it's
cast
verbal,
spell.
yeah.
It's verbal.
Yeah, okay. So,
We would need a spell to create a bubble of oxygen around
we
him.
would not need a spell, we need a few days. And I will have a solution.
You're
I
going to
just need
replace
the
his
time
lungs?
and the resources. I could, but something tells me none of you want to replace your lungs.
I don't
It's
need
a
to.
shame. You don't need to. There are items that can be made to solve this problem for us. Necklace of Adaptation. Uncommon magical item. As an artificer, it is significantly easier for me to craft magical items than other motherfuckers can. I would need to take a minute to find the rules for it, but I believe since it is an uncommon magic item, it would take me... Let me see. How long would this take? Uncommon would be 500. So that would be...
Well, the question is also how long is this teleportation circle going to last that this creature created?
You have no idea at all.
Yeah. That's the problem.
Hang on, I'm doing
You
math.
could, if you're there next to it, you could watch it, and if some sign of it fading happens or something.
Question that might be even better. Is there anything that any of us have that could store a spell?
Yes. So long as it is only up to second level from the Artificer spell list, though. Why? What do you need? What do you want?
No, I'm thinking he could cast it into
Oh, no.
Also, it requires actual material components. This one does.
Also, the answer is 10 days. It would take me 10 days to create 2 necklaces of adaptation.
we contact Nim first and see if Nim has any ideas?
Yeah, Nim might just have some of them shits laying around.
But he's also would take time to get to us.
No, we can get to him and back real fast.
He was at the college.
And he's at the college. They have the weather light. They can just zip on over.
We could also just go to a town.
Assel could just teleport to us.
I can't transform into anything that doesn't need to breathe, can I?
No. Well, can you take elemental shape? I can't remember what 5th edition druid could do to us.
I think only beasts.
And a spore monster.
Yeah, but I mean, spore monsters I think still need to breathe.
Yeah, I think spore monsters need to breathe.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Unfortunately, spore monsters need to breathe.
Do fungus breathe?
Yes.
I think they do.
Yes, they require oxygen to survive.
Yeah.
Oh, well, most of them are. However, some of them are obligate anaerobes. So oxygen kills them.
Yeah, but I don't think even spore
they
druid
still
carry
need
knows
some
about
kind-
this. You know, like...
And they also would probably still need some kind of...
They live in cattle rumen.
Right, but I'm saying they probably breathe something else other than oxygen, basically.
Yeah, they all breathe. Fungus breathe.
Yeah. So it wouldn't matter.
An important scientific query to be made anyway.
Yeah.
So, contact Nim, ask for magic items for breathing, or wait 10 days, I make magic items for breathing.
If we
Option.
have 10 days.
You have no idea how much time you need. At all.
Can I sense and analyze this wonderful piece of artifice in the teleportation circle that has been provided to us for longevity?
It's not artifice, it's just a magic spell.
I can, detect magic with my eyes, and that's about it.
Can I check the mana flow of this teleportation circle to see if it's waning or waxing or anything?
It's currently stable. It seems to be connected to the giant ball of the giant mana person that's next to you.
Maybe
Baller.
as long as he's here, but we don't know if he might want to wander away at some point.
I mean, you'd probably see if it starts moving away, I'll be honest.
So that's obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Up to you.
Well, contact Nim. That's obvious. That's part of the plan anyway.
Nim certainly can arrange for, honestly, a couple of Necklace of Adaptation to get to you. If you want to. It'll probably take... I'm gonna roll something here. Boop, boop. Oh, only, 3 days. You get lucky.
Okay.
It's less time.
Okay.
Know someone that can teleport close. Not so close that it's not too difficult to get there. That'll take us a little while traveling. But they could teleport close enough that it would be like, a day's worth of travel. But he's like, it'll take me a little bit to contact them. So I think approximately 3 days, maybe, depending on how close that they teleport to.
Aren't you proud of us? Aren't you proud of us, Nim, for advancing the field of science?
Well, you discovered some interesting things about it, but honestly, sure. I mean, good for you.
We did the good thing. This is a win.
The one thing I would say is when you guys go to meet the whoever's teleporting these things, leave Cole and I behind to watch the circle.
No, they're coming to you.
Yeah. Okay. I thought we had to go...
Nim doesn't know exactly where they would teleport to you, so can't send you to it. Nim can communicate with this person, have them teleport to where they need to with some Necklaces of Adaptation and bring them. Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Necklace of Adaptation?
I'm going to just be keeping an eye on the circle, because even when I'm resting, I don't have to close my eyes, and I can still observe.
Yeah. You'll be fine for those 3 days.
Okay.
But a couple of Necklace of Adaptation will arrive with you then.
And Carrion and Cole are good.
Cash is going to stay here, she says, though.
Gonna go to the moon.
How big is here's a question just as a possible backup.
Mm-hmm.
Would a Thropter be able to teleport with us?
Possibly.
Because that way, if something happens that we can't teleport back, we might be able to try to come back in the Thropter.
Here's the other thing. We don't know where the teleportation circle leads to, and it could lead inside.
True. I'm just throwing it out there as a secondary possible way to get back.
I think we should take several trips. The first is a scouting one. Find out where the teleportation circle leads and how dangerous it is. The second one is proper expedition. I'm trying to be careful and sensible about this. I really, really want to just go and do this, though. I would love to just go and do this full, all cylinders firing.
The one thing I would suggest is if whoever's going on the scouting is, I don't think, to see where it is, where it teleports to, if they don't come back within a certain time period, then teleport with the Thropter, because that means the teleportation spell back is not working.
Or it means we're dead.
Or dead. But that's I'm just saying that's...
We only have the one Thopter. Actually, it's up to Cash. It's her Thopter.
She says maybe.
So maybe from Cash.
Yeah.
I'm not going to force Cash.
She doesn't really like the idea of the plan. Because honestly, she doesn't... She's like, I don't know if it would work in space. I said that.
Yeah.
You're just...
I'm just trying to hedge our bets to make sure...
Yeah, but you're, like, assuming it would work in space.
Mm.
You could just get it trapped up there with you.
True.
Worst case scenario, we all climb inside of the bag and I just shoot the bag back at the planet's surface.
That sounds like a horrible idea.
I said worst case scenario. I didn't say plan B.
Because well, out of game, we don't even know about re-entry.
Nah, but I'm pretty sure that Kaz is pretty sure it would work, one way or the other.
Unless the bag bursts again.
One way or another, our problems are solved.
Well,
I guess no matter what, Cole needs to be one of the people who goes on the scout.
True. Yeah.
Because he's the only one who knows how to teleport back.
Yep, Cole's got to go. So what's the plan? Cole and Kaz are just going on your own? Or what?
That's probably the best bet, right?
I would almost say the three of us then, because...
Well, this is just the scouting mission.
I know, but worst case scenario, I'm probably the hardiest of us to be in a non-breathable atmosphere.
Why? I have bad luck. Good lungs.
Yes, I know that, but we also don't know if there could be any other physical dangers, and a lot of things that hurt you guys don't hurt me.
Kaz doesn't actually need to go on the scouting mission as much as Kaz wants to go on the scouting mission.
That's what I'm saying. I think it would be actually better Cole and I.
Okay.
Just
if you're stuck on the moon and Kaz doesn't get to go, he's gonna be pissed.
Well, if it's going to be you and Cole, then I think we should end it here then.
Yeah, because that wouldn't not be fair to Cole.
Yeah. So Momo.
But, I mean, no matter what, he would have to be one of the ones going because we need to get back.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter who and Cole would be going,
Yes.
we should probably wait.
All right. So we'll end it here. Where you're planning on going to the moon.
Moon trip.
Mm-hmm.
Moon's haunted.
Moon juice.
We find some whalers.
What?
No. No, you won't.
Whalers on the moon.
Yes, I know.
Carry a harpoon.
Yes, Futurama. It's fine. It's fine.
Don't.
I just have to... Wait. I can't reach up here and pet you, Joe. Yeah, there you go. Good boy. Good boy, Joe. There we go.
You can move your window up.
Wait, okay. Let me just... Good point.
I could pet myself.
There we go. There you go, Joe. Ah, there you go. I'm petting you. There you go. Oh, good boy. Scratchy behind the ear. Okay, there you go. Alright, I'm back down. Alright, we'll end it here for today.
Like a floating Tantus.
I just moved my window off and plant you that there. Alright, that was, that's our, it's already late enough. I think that proves it there. Alright. Thank you for joining us, everybody. That was some interesting stuff that you guys did. Honestly, not bad plans. And some interesting questions. You know.
Wait, going to the moon you think is a not bad plan?
As some of your plans have been, it's not the worst.
What do you think
Track.
our worst plan was?
Honestly, I wasn't planning for you to go to the moon, but when you asked some certain things, you said, like, we want to go to the moon, and I'm like, sure, I can have you go to the moon. And while we were on break, I came up with a plan for the moon. So I already know what I'm doing for it.
It's a clever dodge to my question of what you think our worst plan was.
Dragon.
Dragon wasn't the worst plan.
No, Dragon was not the worst plan.
No. I'm going to tell you, the dragon could have gone a lot of different ways, but I went with what information you gave me for your plan.
What about witch?
Giving blood to the witch might be one of our worst plans.
It really wasn't a plan, it was just something you did.
It was just something Carrion mostly did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Kaz did it once.
Honestly, I'm going to tell you, you've had some bad plans that have had good results. Because there's a difference between having a bad plan and having a bad result. I don't think you've ever had a bad plan that hasn't had at least an okay result. So, I mean, like...
Drugs.
I think...
Well,
The
drugs
drugs?
have just been a bad plan with bad results.
No,
plan,
the
but
first time with the cultists. That was a bad plan.
No. That was a bad series of events that were outside of our control.
Mhm.
In order for it to be a bad plan, we must have planned something.
You planned to buy drugs.
And we
from
did
cultists.
successfully buy drugs from cultists. Success.
And Maxwell almost got Carrie kidnapped.
It's not even got Carrie kidnapped, it's tried to give Carrie to the cultists.
Look,
Okay.
cultists are scary.
They're not that scary, they're like a CR half.
I mean, it's when you're like level 2, that's actually a danger.
We started at level 3. They were nothing.
Starting at level 1.
No, we started at level 3.
Did I start you at level 3?
Yeah, because I was throwing down cannons right in the first fucking episode.
I don't remember, honestly. I have to go back and look.
There's video evidence of this. I
You
threw
might
down a
have.
cannon.
You might have thrown down a
Second level.
cannon. I might have just had you start at, like, not first level. I honestly cannot remember for the life of me. I'd have to bring out the old episode 1 VOD. I'd have to be like, and just have the dust fly off of it, you know? But anyway, we'll worry about that next week. Yes, so I actually was, because we were missing Momo tonight, I did kind of put for a little delay. So, I mean, like, this session, like, it was kind of like you got
session.
stuff done, but it was kind of a bonus session. So, like, honestly, the moon stuff we could probably resolve in, like, a session. I don't have a huge amount of stuff for that. I mean, it's a moon without atmosphere in a big place with white mana. For one thing, you're not going to see undead there. It was filled with white mana for a lot of years. And the other thing, it has no atmosphere. Everything died.
There could be robots.
There could be robots.
There could be robots, but also, like, honestly, there's a giant hole in the null moon at this point in time after what happened with everything with Yawgmoth and stuff. So, like, from what everybody can tell, the device is also damaged beyond repair.
Yeah. But there still could be robots.
Could be robots. I'm probably not going to have you fight robots, I'm going to be honest. You can be ready for them, but unless you do something really, really stupid, which is a possibility, I'm probably not going to have that happen.
I will say, I think I've determined what our dumbest plan was.
Ah.
Fast and Furious.
It was a pretty dumb plan. Oh, it had a really good result.
It worked way better than it should have.
It really should have. You made
Especially
some really
because,
good rolls. And
we went late that session and we were all dead tired. We were just doing things.
It was, like, I will tell you, I was thinking Fast and Furious might have been one of your dumbest plans. I'm like, that seems like a very dumb plan. But you rolled very well, and that's why I had to say, like, your dumb plans have had some great results sometimes.
We didn't roll very well in the first part of the plan, which was Maxwell is inside of Claud trying to negotiate with the orcs to just let us through by selling Kaz into slavery. That part of the plan didn't work.
It's a really bad plan.
Second part of the plan of blow a hole in the wall and race through, unstoppable.
Try negotiation.
I mean, negotiation. I specifically said the two of you combined didn't look very right.
Looked like a scrawny, malnourished orc.
Like, it looked like someone skinned an orc and was just wearing them as like an orc suit. I am orc. Hello. Let me trade with you.
Would you like to buy a goblin?
Well, at that point, my charisma was not near as high as his. If we were to do that now, I could do it without him.
It still wouldn't work.
No. It was a terrible plan. Even the Fast and Furious part of it wasn't really a great plan.
Our plan was cast spells on a horse.
Like, you just improvised the shit out of that. You're just like, well, plan A, we're gonna go for plan, I don't know, X. Just threw this entire
Claude ended up wrapping himself around the axle to keep it moving.
Died.
You really did.
Yeah, I almost died.
You were keeping that cart together somehow because you juiced a horse. You just basically steroided a horse and had it just run through, dragging a cart.
Yeah, and I became goo to hold the axle together.
Look,
I started a forest fire.
You did.
It was, yeah.
Anyway, so that was the thing that happened. Let's give some shout-outs. Rance, do you have anything to shout out?
I'm here.
Okay. Fish.
Hi everybody, I'm Fish Harlan. This week you can find me still trying to find that tiny magnet. That wasn't a bit. I've lost a tiny magnet. I need to find it. I can't vacuum until I find it. It's a tiny magnet.
Get a piece of metal and run it around the cart.
Yeah, you'd think, right? You'd think that'd work, right? I've lost tiny magnets before. I'm getting a sword.
Well, that's a piece of metal.
See if it works.
Joe, do you have anything
Just has to be able to be attracted. That's my shout out.
All right.
I'm here on Thursdays.
All right. I'll be here tomorrow morning for some kind of gaming. I actually haven't decided yet. I'll decide tomorrow morning, honestly. I'll figure it out. And then we might be having discussing tabletop. If we do, it'll be a little later in the afternoon. Momo's still going to be out, and then one of the other hosts might be able to be around a little later, so I'm just moving the entire show a little later in the afternoon. at this point in time. If we're going to do it, we're kind of leaving it up in the air. So Discuss the Tabletop might be canceled, depending on what's going on. We'll figure it out by Saturday. I will know, and I will let people know in the morning. After that, mostly normal schedule next week. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays for morning streams. Buccaneers of Shackle Sea should be on schedule for Wednesday night. This show for Thursday night, where hopefully they'll successfully go to the moon. Well, one of the moons, the smaller of the two moons. Because I'm fairly certain the larger moon you can't get to, and also, honestly, probably neither have much of an atmosphere.
They got moon bears. We don't want to go to the big moon. They got moon bears. We can't handle the moon bears.
It's probably honestly, it might have some kind of weird moon monsters because it's a universe that has magic, and probably there's magical energy on the actual normal moon. So who knows what the fuck is there?
Moon bears got to be challenge rating like 40.
Yeah,
we're not a high enough level to challenge moon bears.
It's actually all Tarrasques.
That's what a moon bear is.
Yeah, that's what a moon bear is. It's just oops all Tarrasques.
Oops all Tarrasques.
Baby Tarrasques.
Look, I'm not saying there wasn't it just reminds me of an old spell jamming book where they're like, there's this planet that's filled with on the surface either really tiny lizards or giant lizard monsters that effectively have the stats of the Tarrasque, except you don't have to cast Wish to make them die permanently. So oops all Tarrasques. Oh, and the underground is controlled by 2 metropolises of mind flares. So it's the planet of mind flares and Tarrasques.
Tarrasque flares.
I know. That's not something that exists. Well, according to 5th edition, it could, because now they have dragon mind flares or something.
Well, that's a dragon that specifically has been corrupted by an elder brain.
Yes, but they still introduced that. Thank you, 5th edition.
Yeah, it's badass as hell.
But anyway, so that's the kind of schedule. I hope everybody has a good rest of your evening. Remember, check out stuff on YouTube. I'm actually been uploading Season 2, finally, to YouTube, so you can check it out. We're still running through the...
We're about 1 year behind.
It's January I'm in. It's not that bad, but it's pretty bad. You're in Yavamea still.
We also missed a bunch of sessions.
I will catch up faster than it surprisingly. It's uploading a week's worth ahead of stuff. It is surprising, and it does actually upload pretty quickly. But yes, I've been doing a lot of editing and uploading. I'm uploaded through next Wednesday already on YouTube, so I'm happy about that. I'm ahead of schedule. I'm going to keep trying to be, honestly, because if not, I will get behind schedule again, like I did for 9 months. Anyway, bye everybody.
It's great, Green. I should be able to find this.